Good morning. If you are one of these people who drinks alcohol, then because alcohol gives you problems here and then, you decide you are not drinking again. You promise that it is the end. You are never going to drink again. Then you are able to stay for days, for weeks, or even months without drinking again. But then something happens, or you find yourself drinking again, and you make the promise again, the decision again not to drink, and you again go for days or even weeks or months. Then you are a person very much capable of completely quitting alcohol. What you need to do better is to understand your triggers and how to deal with these triggers, because these are the things that lead you to drink alcohol after this period of abstinence. The problem with alcohol when you are a problem drinker is that once you start drinking, you are not able to stop. You can't decide you're going to have just 1 or 2 bottles and actually do that. You'll drink and drink. Once the alcohol hits your brain, there's no stopping. People like you and me, we are said to not have an off switch when it comes to drinking. And the best way to go over this is to never turn the switch on. That is to mean we never start drinking again. We are the people who have seriously been warned about that first drink. Okay, if the first drink is that first drink, even if you are drinking and stopping for some times, or if you have completely quit alcoholism like me, you still have to be cautious about that first drink. And what leads you to the first drink are cravings and triggers. Now, triggers can be something like bad news, even good news that makes you happy. An argument, friends, places you are used to, some music. You know, there is a music which when it plays, you remember how you used to be drinking alcohol, and then you'll want to go and drink alcohol. But then if you can't control your trigger, if you can't fight against your trigger, you are going to drink alcohol when you don't want to. You can't stop yourself. So the first thing about it is to figure out and understand your triggers. Then work on how you can avoid these triggers. If it's the music, you need to find ways of not listening to this music. You will need to understand how to deal with people, to deal with your emotions. If it's about places, you might decide not to be visiting these places, not to be going to specific places. You can change your settings. You can change your movements. There are people who have been known to change their ways where they've been going through. You completely move to a different route so that you avoid your triggers, because you might find yourself not planning to drink, but you get somewhere, then you decide, no, I know this place, my friends are inside here, let me go in and just say hi. But you come out there drunk, so you completely avoid going through that place. You also need to understand and learn how to keep anxiety and fear away from you. You are a living person. You will always be anxious. You will always be worried. You will always have negative thoughts. And this might lead you to drink because you want to forget, because you don't know how to handle them. This needs practice. Over time, you realize that you can sit in with your worries, with your anxieties, without necessarily needing to get a drink to make things look easier. Because the truth is that alcohol doesn't make anything easier. Alcohol doesn't solve anything. The reality is that when the alcohol goes away from your system, your problems will still be there. Your worries will still be there. Your anxieties will be still be there. And in fact, they will be much larger. If they were an anthill, they'd have grown into a mountain. So you are better off if you avoid the alcohol and you face your problems, your fears, your anxieties, and you deal with them without having to reach out for the drink. This is not going to take a few days. It takes time. It becomes a way of life. Because every day you have to be conscious about not drinking. You have to always remind yourself that you are not drinking. And every time you sleep, you have to understand what led you to drinking. What made you do what you are not supposed to do, and work on not drinking again. That is by avoiding your trigger, or by learning how to manage your anger, your resentments, your fears and your worries. You have to be mindful and conscious always, to be always prepared for any eventuality. And by being prepared, it means you should be ready not to turn to alcohol as your solution. This I know is possible, can be done. Hope you have a good day.